Well, well, well. If it isn't Man United fans' favourite star boy. The star boy with unlimited world-class potential. Back at it again. On social media. Well, not really directly, but he's the talk of the town again, people. Alejandro Garnacho has come out with a statement. I don't know if I could call it a statement, but he's come out indirectly with a quote. If you don't know what's going on, Fabrizio Romano has done a transfer show on DAZN where he has quoted that Alejandro Garnacho has gone to the Manchester United board, or he sent a message to the United board or United as a club. And he said, I quote, let me bring out the quotes because I don't want to be misquoting that. You know, I want to make sure we get this right. Alejandro Garnacho's message to Manchester United. Chelsea, or I stay here and don't play football for 6 to 12 months. Lovely message, isn't it? And this doesn't really come as a surprise to me, I'll be honest. I mean, when I saw it, I kind of smiled a little bit. I was like, And in my head, I was just like, there you go. This is you lot's star boy. This is the guy that fans held up to be something that he's actually not. And this is the direct result of fans gassing a player up too much to the point where he actually thinks he's untouchable. And, you know, there's some stuff that's been going around recently, and, you know, I don't really want to talk about the whole, you guys know what picture I'm talking about. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm purely here to talk about all of the things that have led up to this point. People, we've had a series of things happening. I'm actually surprised it took people this long to realize and understand Garnacho's true colours and his true behaviour. And again, every time I talk about me, you know, having played at a certain level, I always say I'd never claimed to have the most illustrious career. Like I've never played. No, I mean, I've played at a certain level, but, you know, unfortunately, I didn't play at that level for too long. But let me tell you this, and I don't know if it's the same for other players. It might be different. Everybody has had a different experience when it comes to pro and semi-pro football. But the dressing rooms that I've been in, let me tell you, behaviors like that we're throwing hands. Because first things first, why are you so rude and petulant? Just as a human being, forget as a footballer. These are the type of behaviors. The neighborhoods that I grew up in, the elders would, you know, make sure you get a good lesson so that next time you don't repeat the same thing. So as a human being, first of all, why are you like this? Why? Secondly, because you're a professional footballer, and I know professional footballers, you know, have, you know, ish happens. Ish happens, left, right, and center, it does. But why is it repeatedly with you? The stuff with his brother, going online, talking rubbish, him being subbed off, sitting on the stairs, mumbling to himself, the camera's panning on you, we can clearly see you on the stairs, not even on the bench, you're getting subbed off, you're sat on the bench, soaking. Then there's the whole Rashford stuff with, you know, the Aston Villa shirt, the number 9 at the back, taking a picture, posting it on socials. You get omitted from the squad around January time because of your bad behaviour. You get reinstated into the 11, starting 11. You're selfish on the pitch. You don't want to pass to your teammates. Then you come out after a European final. You come out with those quotes. And again, fair enough. I understand your frustration. I really do. But was it the right time? Was it necessary for you to say that when literally everybody was down mentally? Again, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised. But guess what? If any of the players that I'm about to name had done this, they'd be on the front page news the next day. Pogba never did this. Rashford never did this. And I openly criticized Rashford the past year or so. Rashford wouldn't even dare. Till this day, Rashford plays for Barcelona today. You ask him about Man United, he's got nothing but positive stuff to say about the club. Martial never did this. I'm not surprised. And people wonder why. Amorim said what he said to Garnacho in front of everyone. Well, now you know why. Now you know why. Someone asked me on Twitter when I reacted to the quote, and I quote tweeted it. Someone asked me, Aaron, do you not think this is a reaction to Amorim and Manchester United disrespecting him? I said, excuse me, disrespecting him? How many times has he disrespected the club, his teammates, the whole staff, the whole institution of Man United before we even got to this point? Now all of a sudden it's he got disrespected? I'm sorry. Man United are well within their right to do whatever they want at this point. If they don't want to sell him, and by the way, Man United are well within their right to be asking for 50, 60 million if they're going to sell him to Chelsea. Cool. But if Chelsea don't want to pay up, Manchester United are well within their right to keep Garnacho at the club, let him play in the reserves. And, you know, like he said, he doesn't want to play for 6 to 12 months. Fair play. The reserves need players. The under-19 needs players. Go and play there. Go and play there. You'd think if this was someone who had carried Manchester United to trophies, had carried Manchester United to finals, you could arguably say, you know what? He said this, I don't agree, but guess what? He performed well in this game. He performed well in this game. He performed well in this game. Kind of like Zlatan a little bit, because we all know Zlatan. Zlatan talks a lot of rubbish, but once he got on that pitch, he backed it up. More often than not. 9 times out of 10. But when you're Alejandro Garnacho and you're talking all this rubbish, but on the pitch you're not backing it up either, that's a problem, man. That's a huge, huge problem. That's a huge problem. We're talking about someone who factually, in terms of stats and in terms of gameplay, has not improved. He still plays like a 17-year-old. And he's nearly 22, I believe. Immense amount of games. No progress. Only thinks about himself. Didn't want to pass to his teammates. That's why I said when, I can't remember, one of the preseason games where Dorgu was playing with, I think, Mason Mount or Mateus Cunha, I said, finally, Dorgu has someone to combine with. Finally, Dorgu's going to initiate a 1-2 and actually get the ball back. And let this be a lesson to Manchester United fans to not gas up certain players too much, especially young players. And listen, you know, I've got some of my peers, you know, having their opinions on Garnacho, and, you know, I respect everybody's opinion. But I actually can't believe that a lot of them actually defended Garnacho and said, no, he was, you know, was he actually wrong for saying what he said? Absolutely he was. Because look at this behavior now. This is a 22-year-old who, in, you know, if we're keeping it a buck, hasn't achieved anything in football yet. You know, to stay on the positive side, we'd like to think that someday Garnacho's going to achieve something amazing in football. Well, it'd be a surprise to me with that behavior, but that's a story for another day. I watched loads of videos where, you know, people were asking, like, was he really wrong? Yes, he was, because look at what he's doing now. And I clocked this behavior from early, and I was like, something's wrong with this behavior, man. There's something about Garnacho that I'm just not feeling. And obviously at the time, it was unpopular to say that. So, you know, people will call you all sorts of names. Look now. Look now. So, like I said, let this be a lesson to United fans, because you're gassing up the wrong people. Yet again. There was talks of him getting the number 7. This is the guy that leaked his own new number before the club even announced it. It's crazy. There's too many things that happened, you know. But people just chose to... For what reason? I do not know. Oh well. Like I said, Manchester United have the right to do whatever they want. At this point with Garnacho, whatever United decide to do, do it. If you want to keep him at the club, but that means he's going to stay in the reserves, do it, by all means. And Amorim was fully, and I mean fully right to say what he said to Garnacho in front of the dressing room. There you go, people. And not just in football. Let this be a lesson in life as well. If you think you're going to go through life having this type of behavior, sending out, I don't want to call it a threat, but sending out messages like that to people, you're not going to go far in life, man. It's not wrong to have confidence. Don't get me wrong. You can be confident, of course. But this is not the way to go about it, man. Sometimes in life, you need to humble yourself and just look at the situation that you're in, assess the situation and go, maybe here I should stay quiet. And this is not working into Garnacho's favour either, because he's missed all of pre-season because he wanted to show everybody that, you know, I'm hard. Yeah, I can say this. Look at you now. You missed the whole of pre-season. I actually think he is going to go to Chelsea. He's going to join Chelsea, and well, let's go through. Let's go through the names. 1 second. Let's go through the names. So, like I said, I actually believe Garnacho's going to join Chelsea. But in doing so, Garnacho is going to be behind Jamie Bino-Gittins, Pedro Neto, Tyreek George, Esteval. Yep, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 wingers. So you're going to Chelsea and you're going to be 5th choice winger, having played no preseason, which means you're not fit, and it's probably going to take you up to a month to get up to speed. And if you're lucky, the 4 wingers ahead of you are not going to perform well, which is highly unlikely. And you like to play off the left. Okay. Tyreek George, Jamie Bino-Gittins. Tough ask if you ask me. If you're more than lucky, Tyreek George goes on loan, you take his place. But you're still going to have to work hard to get ahead of Jamie Bino-Gittins. And if I'm not wrong, the last game that Chelsea played, the last friendly, I look at the starting lineup and I can see Jamie Bino-Gittins, Pedro Neto, Cole Palmer. Okay. The game before that, Leverkusen. Tyreek George, Cole Palmer, Esteval. So good luck trying to get ahead of him. Good luck trying to get ahead of these guys. Because of your ego, you've now missed preseason. All I have to say, and I say this in the most respectful way possible, because, you know, I'm trying to keep it PG here. You know, I've got kids watching me. I've got nephews and nieces watching me, and if I say a bad word in church on Sunday, it's going to be, Uncle Aaron, you said a bad word. So, you know, I've got to keep it PG. Good riddance. Good riddance. That's all I have to say. But yeah, anyway, by the way, if you couldn't tell, I'm absolutely fuming, but this is how I am. When I'm fuming, I'm still speaking to way. When I'm fuming, I can't get my words out. I'm still speaking to way. I'm still speaking to you the way I'm speaking now. There we go. I got it out. I don't shout when I'm angry. But yeah, this has really annoyed me when I saw this. initially I was just gonna have a chill evening and just relax, man, and just watch all of my friends release content. I saw Fuad release a video. I saw Culture Camps talk about Barcelona and Chelsea. I was meant to enjoy my evening. I was literally about to watch Cam's video about Chelsea, and then I saw that quote and I was like, what? Okay, Cam's my guy. You can wait a little bit. I gotta record this first. I just finished watching Lies's vlog as well. Like, you know, all of my guys doing well. And then we get this. And I feel sorry for, you know, someone like Culture Camps who was actually defending Garnacho. And now Garnacho's throwing it right back in his face. See what I mean? So, yeah, man. United fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Is Garnacho right for saying what he said? Or is he wrong for saying what he said to the club? And what do you think Man United are going to do? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, comment, subscribe. It's road to 20K, closing in on 18. Well, initially I was meant to be back on Wednesday with the reaction to the Super Cup, but Manchester United, there's always something going on. So, yeah. Until then, people, take care, have a good evening, and I'll see you soon. Peace.